I'm Uncle Potsquatch, and we're coming to you for the Monday live stream. The live stream we do at 1:30 to try to make it a little bit more accessible to those of you who live in the United Kingdom and the European Union. Obviously, it is a show for all Potsquatches, but here we are. Let's go back to the beginning here real quick, and we'll say hi to everybody. What's happening, Van Allen Beauty? Good to see you. What's happening, Patrick? Good to see you. What's up, Return of the Mac? It's good to see you, buddy. What's happening with Shay Ferrero? Good to see you. What's up, Chris Barton? Good to see you, my friend. All right, everybody, let's do a little recap for those of you who haven't had a chance to watch the show from yesterday. Totally fine. The store's open for business. We're open. You can buy all your swag and all your CBD, and seeds are going to be up there fairly soon. I've just got to basically get the labels ready for the seeds, and then those will go live as well on the store. One second here, I'm just cleaning my glasses. All right, there we go. But at the end of the day, things are about to keep going and keep expanding here at Potsquatch Growers in a wonderful way. The grow is going to be up and running very, very soon as well. We're going to be expanding the swag line. We're going to be expanding the CBD line. The next thing to join the family of Potsquatch CBD, aka hemp-based products, is why we label it on there for proprietary purposes. All right. But at the end of the day, we are going to be launching our smokable hemp line. What does that mean? Well, you know, cigarettes, right? But it's not tobacco, it's hemp. So we could call it a hemperette. I did not coin that term. The first time I heard that was yesterday when I was talking to Big Mikey down in Tick. They're going to call them hemperettes. So Uncle Potsquatch is going to be launching some hemperettes for everybody to enjoy. But it's going to be a good time. What's happening, Wonky Donkey? Big shout out and hello to Gloucestershire, UK. That's not an English accent. All you could do. Well, maybe, but there we go. Big shout out to Gloucestershire. I don't know if I'm saying that quite right, but I'm having fun with it. I hope everyone over in the UK and in the EU is doing well. I hope the rest of you in other places is doing well. You know, Shay Ferrero, single weed is made out of weeds. We can't call it that. It's hemp, right? So we got to call it like a hemperette. Hemperette, I need a hemperette. But it's going to be a really good time. JP page 2, 1, yeah, but don't worry, I've got lots of them on hand, and realistically, like, I could put them on the website. I mean, the funny thing is if we actually work together on this JP page 2, I could just put like 1. If you're not worried about having the fancy label on it, like, I have them ready to go right now. It's just a handwritten label on a little label I bought at a dollar store. But that was just sort of what we did for 420 there to have things ready to go. But we could technically do that right away, or it'll be ready in a week or two. But do not to worry though. There's lots of Gazzers Madness. There's the rework that I've done. There's also the original Gazzers Madness, basically genetically identical. It's just sort of me sort of stabilizing it out a little bit and playing with it. But at the end of the day, lots of Gazzers Madness available, so not to worry. I have thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of beans, so nobody needs to be too panicked about that. What's happening, Marky? Good to see you, buddy. What's crack-a-lacking? All right. You know, I have been busy, Marky. You know, I'm not gonna lie about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I basically rushed home from the brewery. And then I got on here. Hey, no worries there, Family Trees Grow Coast. Hope you have a UK connection, Mr. Squatch. Well, it depends what you mean by UK connection. Do we have many Potsquatches in the UK? Yes. Do we have a franchise that's opening up by our dear friend and genius and brother, Return of the Mac? Yes. Return of the Mac is going to be the official first franchisee of Potsquatch Growers. So there eventually will be a store that is dedicated to the UK. Europe, you still got to come from Uncle Potsquatch. But so Mac is going to be running a website called Pot's Paradise, I think it's called, which is going to be the dedicated digital UK franchise for anything Potsquatch eventually. It will probably just start off with CBD products and probably seeds, realistically, but we'll go from there. We're figuring all of these things kind of out as we go, and it is slowly but surely coming together. So you know that website is pretty much built. You know, Max just got to kind of get its initial stock in, and we'll go from there. But yeah, one second here. Oh, Family Trees Grow Coast. I'm just rushing around like a Mad Hatter, doing what I can to try to keep everything going. And but the store's open for business, everybody. Potsquatchsales.com right now. You can order all the CBD, all of the swag. It is available for you. I talked to Jake briefly yesterday. We have a meeting after the show today, but we're going to be bringing Jake's All-in-One back to the store. So Jake's All-in-One will be available to everyone here at Potsquatch Growers at potsquatchsales.com. So that is going to be, I'm very excited to have that product coming back. Jake's All-in-One is one of the best all-natural products out there. Every grower needs it in their toolkit. It is a foliar feed. It kills all bugs. It kills mold and PM instantly in a singular application. It's kind of astonishing at how well this all-natural product works. It's a local Canadian-made product from BC here, developed by Jake and family himself. So at the end of the day, we're going to have that back on the store quite soon. Like I said, I have a meeting after that with the owner and Jake himself. So anyway, that's going to be all in store real soon too. We're going to have the grows up and running very soon. We're going to be popping beans, doing it that. I meant to do it yesterday, but again, I'm just so busy. I'm trying to get everything done. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, so Marky, that the whole concept for the UK franchise is again to reduce the cost of shipping. So Mac's going to be bringing in sort of the initial stock. He'll have a little warehouse there. He's going to be storing his stuff and fulfilling orders for the people of the UK. How much are the beans? My beans are going to be 25 pack of beans is $50. I know. You heard that right. $2 a bean, everybody. Obviously, our store does operate in USD. One, we fulfill our CBD out of the States. Everything we produce, for the most part, is in the USD currency. So we've opted to keep our website as a USD currency. That doesn't mean you have to pay in USD. It will automatically calculate to your country of sale. So for Canadians, it might cost a smidge more. For the UK, it's going to cost a smidge less. But basically, we do all of our pricings and stuff based out of USD. Know you grow, huh? Huh? What? Huh? What? Huh? What? No, 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 grow. Oh man, what's happening, Einstein? Good to see you. How you been? All right, welcome to the show, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Cheers to you, Einstein. For those of you who are wondering, wow, you're drinking orange can. This is the new Super Dry, released by Mountain View Brewing. Super Dry is a standard American lager, slightly elevated to your standard thing, but it is something that the brewery, even though they specialize in craft beers, have released a new beer that is more of a standard, easygoing drink. It's right up my alley. It's what I like. So here I am embracing the slightly elevated but standard American lager called Super Dry by Mountain View Brewing. One second here. Yeah, no, grow. Dude, we're going to have lots of packs. We got thousands of beans available. We're going to be cranking out beans in ways for the rest of my life, okay? A lot of this stuff is initially an F1. We do have one thing that I would consider an F2 that will be made available as well. We've got tons of other fun projects. Gazzers is working away over in New Zealand doing initial F1 crosses of 1001 things. We're going to have a very large catalog in the long run. We're just slowly but surely working on it. I'm working on trying to get the grow back up and running, and then sort of setting up some other breeding things. And there's a lot of change going on in my personal world right now. So I do appreciate the patience, everybody. I mean, hell, it'd be nice if I had $3 million. I could just go buy the farm now and get that going right away. But we're doing what we can, one step at a time, trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? All right. What's up, Stony Baker MD? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. Right? I mean, Stony Baker MD, I mean, technically we are not sponsored by Mountain View Brewing. I'm trying to get them to sponsor us, though. I'm also their head chef, so it'd be smart to keep me happy. But anyway, they make great beer. They're good people, too. Small company, local, small, family-run company, just like Potsquatch Growers is. So, I can get on board with that myself, so. So Einstein, first of all, I hope you're just being melodramatic and making a joke. Taking one's life is never an option. I can relate to being stressed, and sometimes that seems like an option, but I'm going to encourage you and anyone at home who's going through a hard time right now. That is never an option. It is not the way to deal with hard feelings. And I would also say, I understand, that's where I'm hoping it's a joke, man, because if not having marijuana takes you to a place where you want to actually go there, I think you have a problem with your use of marijuana, because marijuana should not be something that ever takes us to a place like that. It sucks not having weed. I get it. I'm a pain patient. I'm a cancer survivor. I get it. But it shouldn't make you want to, like, shoot yourself or something. So anyway, I hope you're joking, Einstein. I hope you're joking. One day, I do believe there will be a world where we all have easy, accessible, low barrier marijuana. We're working on that. Everyone will be allowed to produce their own and not have to be living in fear like they're some criminal or horrible person. They're just some people growing plants. Hey, thank you very much, Family Trees Grow Coast. I really appreciate it, man. Hey, you have a good one, brother. We'll talk soon, all right? Sadly, Einstein, that's something that's not really an option in terms of international borders currently in legal realities, but maybe one day, my friend. What's up, guys? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. Well, Stony Baker MD, I don't even know if I get on board with that one. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds awfully synthetic and scary. So, I don't know. But anyway, everybody, keep it positive even on the hard days. I'll share with you, whether it has to do with your life, your growth, your career. Things happen. Shit gets fucked up sometimes. Sometimes you get the cart pulled out from under you. Sometimes you don't know where you're at. You're sitting on a day looking at the world around you, and it's a completely different world than you thought you'd be living in. And it can happen quick. I can attest to that. But at the end of the day, that's what this community is for. If you're having a hard day, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody, open up. It's okay. That's the strong thing to do. That's the right thing to do. The Potsquatch Growers community is not just a place to talk about weed. It's a place for us all to be together, to support each other, to lift each other up, empower each other, and stand together. You know what I'm saying? So that's such an important part to what our community really, truly is. So remember, never give in to those dark thoughts, okay? Reach out to somebody. There's a lot of people around in this community that will always be there for you, okay? So we'll move on from that. And 1 second. There we go. But one of the exciting things is, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to finally be able to get back on board with trying to get the grow going. We're going to be growing the Galactic Citrus Shiva, which will be kind of fun. We developed that one on the channel for an F1 initial cross. We're going to take a look at that one. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's very exciting. It's very sexy. But we're also going to be doing some of that blue cheese crossed by Girl Scout cookies. And the funny thing is, like, I'm also thinking about popping out maybe one other little thing because there is another cannabis cup that I thought would never happen again over in Saskatoon. Whether I actually go to it or if I just enter into it, we will see. But I'm thinking I basically got enough time to get things ready for it. So I'm gonna try to get something ready that we can enter. Whether we win or not, who knows? But I'm gonna try to enter into the indica division, the hybrid division, and the sativa division. They got a hash division. We'll enter in that too. We'll try to develop something that we can enter into everything. There's also another cannabis cup here in BC in the Okanagan Valley coming up called the Unicorn Cup, which is an ACMPR based competition. So if any of you are ACMPR growers, I think it's open to all of Canada. I think it's more of an ACMPR competition. It's just held here in BC. Anyone is welcome to join or enter. So what I'm thinking is, whether we're able to get some flour ready for that, I mean, I don't have enough time. Can't remember exactly when that one's happening, but I am going to make some hash at least. I'm going to enter in the hash part. And the cool thing is, one of the guys who's going to be there is the guy who invented bubble bags. I'm like, man, wouldn't that be cool if we could do all right on making some damn cash, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, that'd be cool. But I don't know. One of the things going forward, though, that we really, really want to do is we want to basically get ourselves to a place where we're able to start entering into cups and kind of building on the brand and awareness of what we're doing genetically and how we are approaching growing and stuff. And, we are the Potsquatch Growers Army. We're loud, we're proud, we're here. We will never die, no matter what happens, no matter what comes. We will always keep moving. We'll keep growing. You know what I'm saying? So All right. Yeah, dude, Gorilla Blue is some dang shit, I guess. Is that Gorilla Blue? I remember the first couple of times I grew up, man. She's funky. She's like diesely. She's gassy, but she's got that blueberry in there. She got some indica to her too. I mean, she like the epitome of a dang hybrid, man. And she comes in, she left hook. I'll tell you that. Oh man, it's good shit. Hell yeah, Stony. I dig it. Well, I mean, Cadillac Jack, I mean, at the end of the day, being commercial in Canada, I mean, no one in the commercial reality really is doing a good job anyway. Like, I mean, there's a few people, I guess, who are craft that are doing well. But I mean, for the most part, anyone who has a commercial license in Canada kind of blows. So there's not really much competition. Like, I mean, the fact is the last Saskatoon Medicinal Harvest Cup that was, the guy who swept it was the Professor Sterling. He took on a big commercial growers entered. They did not win. So it doesn't matter if you're small. It doesn't matter if you're big. It doesn't matter if you're medium. If you're growing good weed, you stand a chance to hold your own against anybody in the industry in terms of these competitions. And at the end of the day, a cannabis cup is not about who can pump out the most weed. It's not what it's about. It's who's pumping out the best, most enjoyable weed that then can be agreed upon by a panel of judges. So focus on your craft, focus on your boutique, focus on your love, your styles, and how you produce the cannabis. And that's what's going to lead you to being successful at the Cannabis Cup. Hell, Dirty Dave, big grower out here in BC, man. Very revered, well respected grower by many. He's entered in many, many Cannabis Cups. He's never once won. That's all right. Does great dope. Stands his own, has his own reputation. People respect him. So it's not necessarily even about winning. It's nice to win, for sure. It's always nice to win. But that's not really why we do it. You know what I mean? And that's why I think they've named the Unicorn Cup. It's like, well, finding that, mystical unicorn, right? Someone who's doing a good job and that nobody really, seeing that. Cadillac Jack, typically the judging is fairly fair. To my understanding, it's usually done in most cannabis cups as a blind judging. Nobody knows whose weed is what. So you have to judge blind. You know what the weed is, that's it. And then it is done fairly fair in that regard at many of these events, is my humble two cents. Exactly, Pod TV. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Pod TV. As I say, there's 1,001 ways to the same destination. And I think that's part of where the Unicorn Cup is this really interesting event. It's for ACMPR growers, big and small. It is for people to show what they're doing, to show their strains, to show their techniques and their styles, right? And that's part of the fun, really, right? Because at the end of the day, I've got a lot of friends who are growers. We don't do things the same way. Like one of my closest grower friends is Pavel. Shout out to you, Pavel. Pavel and I have disagreed on most things in terms of growing almost our entire career. I grow better weed, Pavel. I'm just teasing. He's one of my oldest best friends. But it's like, we have a game when it comes to sort of things that we get into debates about, and 9 out of 10 times I'm usually right, and that's kind of what he's come to realize. But as part of our fun, loving relationship in terms of the growing things, and he runs a couple of big grow shows these days and stuff. But I mean, just because he does things differently than I do doesn't mean I don't enjoy his dope, right? It doesn't mean he doesn't enjoy my dope. Doesn't mean, if anything, it's actually better to have friends that are growers that do things differently, because it kind of keeps ourselves expanding and growing and changing how we perceive and look at things. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing. Return to the Mac, I would say in general, I would agree with you, but I don't think there's anything wrong with like a Cannabis Cup competition. I like a little competition in terms of the form of Cannabis Cup. That's kind of like game day. It's like the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what? Throw your dank in and see what happens. That, in my mind, is a great thing. I don't do grow offs and solo cup challenges. I'll never organize one. I don't do any of that. I completely, wholeheartedly disagree with that. I always have my entire career. I think it goes against the very nature of what cannabis and the cannabis community is really meant to be. But at the same time, though, I'm not against cannabis cups, though. Cannabis cups are just a hell of a lot of fun, too. Aaron, how many meals do you usually cook a day in the restaurant? Couldn't tell you, buddy. Couldn't tell you.
Eric Grant's artistry, bro. I'm excited to order your seeds. I've seen your grows. No one does it better, in my humble opinion. Oh well, one, thank you. I would say there's a lot of amazing growers out there. There's a lot of amazing stuff being done on YouTube. I definitely think that I definitely hold my own in general in terms of what I'm doing. So thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate it. Well, Stony Baker MD, and that's one of the best things to do. You always got to keep trying, keep growing as a grower. The day you stop growing as a grower, as in expanding your knowledge and learning new things, okay, that is the day you lose being a grower. That's why I also hate when we approach grows with just sort of a formula. We always just do this and that. And it's sort of like what I feel is like a carbon copy grow approach. It's a Xerox machine. It is the one size fits all mold grow approach. And that, in my humble 2 cents, isn't growing. That is just blasphemous in terms of the plant itself. But that's just my humble 2 cents on it too, right? So, well, thank you very much, Aaron. I'm pretty proud of some of the food we're putting out there. Um, New menu's doing pretty well. I'm pretty proud of seeing how people have been really receiving our food. Actually, for a while the other night, this was a big success for me. I mean, I vowed I'd never go back into a kitchen, but especially while we're trying to get everything going, I really needed a job to sort of make ends meet. I'm on salary now. I got benefits and all that, and I took the job, and then 2 weeks later, some shit in my life changed. So it's like, oh, I'm so glad that I have this job to at least kind of hold some basic stuff going and together. But people have been really receiving it well, so that's been pretty fun. We were actually beating draft beer sales the other day for about an hour at the brewery, which is like when it's a brewery and pretty much all you do is pull pints. The fact that food was beating the craft beer, the draft beer sales, the owner Adam was like, "Man, that's unheard of. It's never happened here." And I was like, "Well, that's wonderful. That makes me feel happy." And I like seeing people enjoy my food that I come up with, and it's pretty good. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Marky. That's why I always say the true grower is not afraid to take risks and makes educated, stupid decisions. What does an educated, stupid decision mean? It means you take what you know and then you try something new that you may not know how to work, and it may blow up in your face, it may fuck up. But when it fucks up, it's even better than when it works out. We learn something. We learn from our mistakes. Do I ever get products I refuse to cook with? I mean, no, because I'm bringing in what I order, right? I mean, if something's not up to par, I just send it back and I file a complaint with my food suppliers. But I develop the menu. It's all on me. I decide what gets cooked. I'm the chef. I'm the kitchen manager. So no, not really. Yeah, that's never happened before, but I mean, it probably wouldn't happen because I'm the one who's bringing things in. So, what's up, Adam Specht? How you doing, my friend? What's happening, James Mercer? Good to see you, buddy. Um, yeah, Stony Baker MD. And that's the sad thing. I mean, I could see how one's relationship with the lumber yard could be rather tricky at times. And it's like, well, if you want to build something, you got to work with what's there. Luckily for me, I mean, I can choose what I want to cook. For example, if something came into shortage and stuff, I'd probably just change the menu and do something else. So, but yeah, long story short, that is what it is. Are any of my moderators on that could share the link to the website? I'd actually appreciate if you guys could just keep popping off that link to the website pretty much every 5 minutes. Would be amazing. Thank you so much, Eugene Dolan. Every little bit goes a really long way here, especially right now, trying to help keep the lights on and also keep the company growing and stuff like that. And doing what I can. I'm pretty excited for the store. Here's hoping it goes successful. One of the other things that we're going to be working really hard to is sort of the wholesale of all of these CBD products. I'm also really stoked about the eventual launch of our smokable CBD hemperette line, as I'm calling it, hemperettes. But yeah, smoking some biscotti, like biscotti, as in a strain called biscotti, or are you literally smoking biscotti? I mean, I'm confused. What do you mean, return to the Mac? Also, to return to the Mac, if you don't mind sharing that link to the website, that'd be great, buddy. But yeah, so long story short, things are gonna keep evolving here at Potsquatch Growers, and I'm so ready to get back to growing. I needed a bit of a break for a couple of weeks there when I ended the last run. Then we were kind of busy for a couple of weeks doing like 420 and then doing the motorsports event and doing all of that, and then trying to get the store open and running, and then trying to get the restaurant going well, or the kitchen at the brewery going well. We're kind of there now, so I'm kind of ready to return. Thank you, Return of the Mac, to get back to business and doing what we do and do what we do best, which is growing weed titties. And I'm excited for this galactic citrus sheaf. I'm not gonna lie to you. And we're gonna do some of that blue cheese crossed by GSC. But I'm trying to think, like, I might bust out a couple of other things too. I'm going through my catalog. I've got hundreds and hundreds of different things here, right? So I'm like, what do I have in my collection that would be a good thing to try to get ready? Because in a perfect world, I'd love to at least, if we can return to the Cannabis Cup in Saskatoon, that would be amazing to do. We may not be able to actually go to it. The plants are seeds right now, Einstein. I literally just said that. Plants will be back soon, not to worry, my friend. But I'm looking forward to, at least entering. And we're going to enter into all three major categories, which is indica, sativa, and hybrid. I know everyone's like, you're not a sativa guy. You don't like sass. Yeah, it doesn't mean I don't got some killer sass in my collection. It don't mean I can't grow with that either. I just may not like it very much. What's happening, Ganjanani, old mama? Have you checked out the store? It's open for business. Oh, one thing in terms of the store, too. There are people who use iPhones. I'm an Android user. iPhones seem to be running into some basic things where it's not showing the pictures of the products. Click the product, the picture will show up. We're not sure why it's doing that. It's something to do with the way iPhone coding works with the internet. I don't know. My computer guy's looking into it. The pictures do work. Just click the product. The picture will pop up. Okay. So just for now, we're, website's fully working. Payment portal's fully working. We built our own. It's just, ironing out some of these tiny little things as we do. Bring back the pre-2000 bubblegum. Oh, I'd like to, man. I might have a couple seeds stashed, but I used to grow that bubblegum on the channel a lot. It was one of my favorite things to grow, and it made one of the best rosins I've ever tried. It literally came out tasting and smelling like double bubble bubblegum. I just don't know if I have it anymore. So I might have to try to get my hands on that. That one I may not still have in the collection, sadly. And even if I do, I probably wouldn't bust those beans out currently, because I want to wait till we have the farm going to do a bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, I mean, if you're into working out high, you can totally do that. Sometimes I like doing, yoga high maybe, but like when I'm going to the gym, typically I'm more of the ideology. If I'm going to do anything intoxicating in some forms, I might have a beer and then go work out, but that's just me. Yeah, that sounds cool. Now, my question, Eric Grant's Artistry, is does it smell like Kush, though? Because that's one of my problems with a lot of these new age Kushes, is they don't smell like Kush. If it don't smell like Kush, it ain't a Kush. Even if it's got genetics in it that are Kush, that doesn't mean it's a Kush. A Kush is only a Kush if it smells like a Kush. There has to be a certain required cushiness to the scent of that cannabis for me to want to call it a Kush. Is that me being a purist? Maybe, but that's also me being honest. I grew up in a place where Kush was king from basically, 2002, 2003 on. When I was a young kid, there was lots of stuff, right? We had, diesel, we had bubblegum, we had, all these different fat things. We had Texada Time Warp, we had Alaskan Thunderfuck, we had all of these other wonderful things, and it wasn't really a point where Kush had really taken hold. But then very quickly in a couple of years, kind of the early 2000s, Kush took hold of what the market was. And I think that was a big part of, sort of the furthering of the reputation of BC growers and BC bud was when we started rolling out these crazy Kushes that we started cranking out. And, and it kind of set us apart really too, because like if you travel through most of the world back then, there wasn't really Kush about. Like you can go to Amsterdam, good luck trying to find an indica, let alone a Kush, right? I found like one once when I was there, and I was living there, actively trying to search out certain things. It's just, certain areas have certain things that they kind of have as a regular thing, And but Kush, man, it's got to smell like a Kush for it to be a Kush, right? Like if it don't smell Kush, it ain't a Kush. It can be of Kush descent, Kush lineage, but if it don't smell like Kush, it ain't a Kush. And that's just reality. And I very rarely make declarative statements in terms of this industry or cannabis, but I tell you, if it don't smell like Kush, it ain't a Kush, man. I tell you that. That's just the reality. All right, so Eric Grant's artistry that makes me happy. And I've heard good things about Cotton Candy Kush. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I've ever had the chance to try it. To be fair, um, but yeah, that makes me happy. At least it smells like Kush. Dude, that'd be very cool. I would appreciate that because I've actually got a few other old Thai seeds in my collection here. I've got lemon Thai skunk. I've got just sort of a couple of different things that I know came from Thailand. What are they really? Who knows? Probably something savvy. Let's be fair. Uh, but yeah, man, I love some of these old school. A 16 weeker sativa Chemet 432. I've grown a few of those in my day. They're rare. There's been so much interbreeding, these in this day and age. But yeah, man, there are stats out there that do take 16 weeks plus. Kind of weird, to be honest. See, that's something I'd be interested in, Stony Baker MD. That pre 98 Bubba, that would be something I'd be interested in checking out. Yeah, I love the pre 98 Bubba Kush. Bubba Kush was great. I would say I probably prefer Death Bubba over the original pre 98. Death Bubba is just a reworking of the pre 98 to make it, basically stinkier, crystalier, and danker. So it was just kind of like the what I would describe as like the supercharged version of Bubba Kush. Oh, kind of, that's kind of obvious given the name, obviously, I guess, right? But thank you, Conchadon, your mama. Go take a look at the website. Tell me what you think. I mean, it's going to change over time, but I mean, this is the initial functioning website. It works. Uh, Also, too, I don't know if I think I said thank you to Eugene Dolan, but if I didn't, thank you very much, Eugene. I think it was you who made that donation earlier, and I really appreciate that. Um, Stony Baker MD says the clones wilt and die. Yeah, well, the old school Bubba Kush was hard to clone. She's clonable, but she's a hard, finicky one to clone. So that actually sounds genetically correct in terms of my experience with it. Death Bubba is definitely one of my favorites next to Rockstar Kush. I like Rockstar Kush too, Chris V. I would say a lot of the Rockstar Kush that's out there isn't great. Einstein, have I grown cubensis mushrooms? Nope, just carry them. I got lots of mushrooms in my house. I didn't grow them. I got a lot of friends who are very good at growing mushrooms, so there's not really any point for me to try to do it. Rockstar Kush was a huge thing. It was one of the main go-to strains that has been available here in British Columbia for a decade. Some Rockstars are just so prolific. The actual Rockstar, it's cushy, it's so dank. You double bag it, you still smell it. It's super. The original Rockstar, it's super crystally, decent enough producer. It was kind of like along the lines of maybe slightly better than like a Hindu Kush, for example, right? Like it wasn't great, but it was pretty decent enough. And if you knew how to, rock and roll with it, it usually did a pretty good job. But man, did it have bag appeal? Damn, did the shit stank too, man. Hell yeah, Eugene Dolan, that's awesome. Pre 98 be good outdoors. I got a lot of buddies who grew old school Bubba Kush back in the day outdoors. So yeah, the one thing to remember though too, some phenos of it aren't necessarily great with like high moisture environments. So it's all about where you're growing it. But yeah, no, it should do fairly well. Yeah, and I mean, Chris V, it is still about like every once in a while, like someone's like, "Oh, check out the Rockstar I did," and I was like, "Fuck, that's Rockstar. Like that's what it was. That's what it is." And then sometimes you see a Rockstar and you're like, "Okay, this kind of smells right, but it doesn't look right." This has obviously been mixed with something else. It's nice to see the nose carrying through, but the aesthetic, the bud formation, this is just not what it once was. Um, you know. But the other thing is too to remember, sometimes weed is not going to look super crystally. It's not going to look all that dank, but then it'll be fire and it'll kill your ass. It'll knock you to the ground. So remember, it's not just about trikiness. Because a lot of things that are super triky that I've tried, sometimes it doesn't work. When I clicked on the link, it told me there was a problem with this page. Go into your browser, screw the link, type in www.potsquatchsales.com. It will work. It is 100% working. I've had people all over the world trying it. Try that one again. Try clicking that, and then also everyone else, try clicking that link. Let's double check to see that link is working. The one thing I will say, like I was saying earlier, iPhones seem to be struggling with loading images. So if you click the product, the image will pop up. It is something we're looking into the coding of why iPhones are just being stupid with it. We are working on that. So awesome. It works. Awesome. Thank you. No grow. What's up, Jason A? Good to see you, buddy. Oh, thank you very much, Sean and Pops. I was looking forward to it too. I apologize for having to take some time. I know I was missing for a couple weeks. People were getting worried. They're like, "Oh my God, it's Uncle Potsquatch. Okay, where'd the lives go?" And I'm good. I'm good. We've just been working on a bunch of stuff. I've had some personal stuff going on, but we are good. We are still here, and we ready to rock and roll. Hashtag boom, guys, now your mama. It's been 3 years for us trying to get this show up and running, man. Or not the show, the website, to get a store back again. And it basically came down to we had to code our own website. We had to code our own payment portal. We literally had to build everything from scratch, handwritten code, and spend $1 bajillion. And not a bajillion, but to me, what basically feels like $1 bajillion of dollars. Okay, so Fred Furious Frequency says it's working on my old iPhone. Okay, so older iPhones don't struggle. It's the newer iPhones with maybe the operating system that's on there that is struggling. When am I popping beans? I know, I feel like I keep saying, oh, I'm going to pop beans today, and then I don't. I mean, I did pop some, but then I was like too busy to like actually take care of it. So hopefully today. At the end of the day, I was hoping that I didn't have to go back to the brewery after the show. I could just do the business meetings that I needed to do and then kind of focus on things down here. But at the end of the day, Dottie is at the brewery and she is tired and there's a lot of prep to do. So I'm probably going to pop in for a couple of hours to bang out a few more things just to make sure, we're setting everybody up for success tomorrow. So I'm still hopeful that I'll be able to pop the beans tonight. I will do a little video of showing the beans. One of the things is like we'll go through some of the beans. Is like I kind of want to go through and pick some of the beans. So the Galactic Citrus Shiva is more so the one I want to go through because there was basically kind of a few different weird looks to some of the beans I actually have noticed. So there's some really nicely developed Galactic Citrus Shiva beans. They developed well or maturity wise, but they went two ways. Some of them are like these really dark black almost kind of ones with this really funky pattern to them, which is really cool. The other ones, again, same pattern, just as mature, just as hard, but they went ginger. So rather than being this kind of almost black, brown, silver, gray, they kind of went like ginger, like my beard. Which is interesting. So part of me is kind of like, I want to take some of those black ones and some of the ginger ones and then see what happens. Let's see if there's a differential between how they grow out. I don't know, right? That's part of the fun. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out. You know what I'm saying? Have I ever grown purple frost giant? No, I have not. The name sounds familiar though. But no, I've never had the chance to grow purple frost giant. But it does sound like a lot of fun though. Oh, as in like it's not what it was meant to be, Sean or Pops? That's at you? And that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, a lot of times in this day and age, people say a strain is what it is, and it could have some of the original genetics within that strain, but it's not quite that original version of it. So that's why, like, at Potsquatch Growers, like a lot of what we're developing, unless we have enough beans to do a straight pheno hunt on stuff, to truly make a release of what it once was, we're basically inventing new strains from the get-go and working with these things, right? So like we'll tell you what went into it, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like we're sort of redesigning stuff. Basically, kind of one of the thoughts is I'm actually trying to bring it back old strains when we can, but basically bringing new strains that have these things that we know and miss from old strains and making them reliable and stable for the first time in a long time. You know, at the end of the day, the only place to really get White Widow, it's not even called White Widow anymore. Okay, Shanti Bubba, who hopefully is actually going to be on the show. I've still got to try to reach out to him again. He said he would do it in April. Well, it's basically June now, so I'm going to reach out to him again. I would humbly be so honored to have one of the most prolific breeders of all time and a true legend of cannabis to come on our show. And there's a very good chance he basically said he was willing to do that. It's more so he's busy, and if I can get him to come in, that'd be great. But White Widow is actually called Black Widow now. Shanti Bubba invented the strain when he left the original company. He took it with him, and now he sells it as Black Widow. Black Widow is the original White Widow, and there's only one source to truly get it from where you know you're getting what it is, and that's from Shanti Bubba. And at the end of the day, we've got a bunch of Black Widow coming. So we're actually going to be able to make some more Black Widow for everybody because we're getting it from the source, and then we're just going to kind of rework that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. What's up, Not Giving? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. All right. But yeah, so I'm hoping that there's a good chance, though, that we'll actually be able to have Shanti Bubba on the show coming up fairly soon. And this is arguably one of the most prolific breeders of all time. Another, you know, there's some other people. I mean, hell, I don't even know if Dr. Atomic's still alive. If I could get Dr. Atomic, I don't even know if he's alive. But if I could get Dr. Atomic on the show, that'd be pretty cool, too. Dr. Atomic was an old school breeder. I actually think Dr. Atomic was originally American, but then he moved up to Canada. But yeah, like, and so the cool thing about a lot of the work that Dr. Atomic did was Dr. Atomic had a fascination and love for Northern Lights. So pretty much everything he ever did was something crossed by Northern Lights. So like a lot of the strains he developed was like he just loved Northern Lights. So he worked with Northern Lights and crossing that into a bunch of other things. Another guy, again, don't know if he's still alive, but another guy who I think would be really cool to have on the show would be the Joint Doctor. The Joint Doctor was the one who basically made the first commercially available autoflowers in the history of cannabis. The first ever released strain that he developed was called Lowrider number 1, then came Lowrider number 2, and then a number of other things after that. But the man is responsible for essentially developing the first autoflowers. So basically, most autoflowers out there are ripoffs or interworkings. I won't call it a ripoff because, I mean, basically the guy invented a thing that allowed other people to mix with other things and keep on working on projects. And there's a lot of good people developing, even though I'm not an auto guy, developing good autos out there. So, but the Joint Doctor's initial work in terms of bringing a commercialized, stable auto-flowering cannabis genetic to the market was a groundbreaking piece of work in terms of autoflowers. And where I may not be into autoflowers, I respect the history. I respect it. And I do acknowledge that they have a purpose or a place, excuse me, in in places for people. 1 second. Oh, it's just the dogs fucking around. Actually, yeah, we can show you some more of the other beans too. I got some of them over here. We showed you Orange Warrior Widow yesterday. Okay, so next we'll show you, grab you some of these other ones here. So it's always interesting to see how like different plants make different beans, you know what I mean? Like, so the K-Town Kush by Cheese, for example, that Gazer sent us, right? The beans were big and hard, but they never really got that dark, right? They were kind of more of a beige color, and it was really interesting to see Einstein, today's autoflowers are not just as good as regular seeds. That is still not true. Autoflowers will never, ever be as strong as their photo parents. They can come close. I will acknowledge that autoflowers have come so far and can be some fire amazing smoke, but they will never be what their parents were. Right. Okay, 1 second here. Here, let's show you. We'll find a pack here of the. Sorry, I'm just. I'll grab a couple of these out. Here, I'm just trying to pull out some vials to show everybody. So first of all, next I'll show you the Einstein. I already know. All right, so these vials here, these are 225 packs of vials here. I'm trying to, there's like a sort of a frosted plastic on part of it, so I'm trying to get it so I can shoot it okay. Here we go. 1 second, everybody. Let's see here. Switch. There we go. So these are the Galactic Citrus Shiva beans. 25 to a vial here. So these are the Galactic Citrus Shiva. Okay. Now I'll show you the... We showed you the Orange Warrior Widows yesterday, but we can show them again. There we go. Okay, so bear with me. I've just got to put these back into these. Yeah, these came from here. Bear with me, everybody. Give me a second here, everybody. I'm just trying to put this back into the package of things. All right, so next I'll show you. These are some of the Gazzers Madness reworks here that we did. These ones also came out very sexy. Shawner Pops, roughly about 6.5 pounds or so. Plus then another 5 or 6 pounds of what I call smalls, and then I make hash out of. Okay, so one, Tony Clifton, when you're making beans, run them longer. You wait till you start seeing beans erupting naturally out of the plant, and then you're going to let the plant dry and die before you harvest them. You can harvest them wet, but I prefer letting them super dry. These are Gazzers Madness beans, reworked, that I did. Looking very nice. We had 12 plants, Shawner Pops, running 3 double squatches. 2 double squatch, 3050R X3 rigs, and a classic X4301H 3500 double squatch. One second here, and then here. Next, I'll show you the K-Town Kush by Cheese, and you'll see these, like the original K-Town Kush by Cheese. So this is K-Town Kush by Alien Rift. They got big and hard, but they didn't get as developed in terms of their color as my other beans did, which was kind of reminiscent, funnily enough, of the K-Town Kush by Cheese origin. So as you can see, nice, big, super hard developed, but just they didn't get as dark. They have kind of this fun gray, beige tinge to them. But yeah, 25 beans there, $50. Does the color of a bean determine its maturity? Yes and no. Color is part of the maturity to a point, but there are genetics out there that where color just doesn't change. The K-Town Kush by Cheese was a great example. You know, basically with the K-Town Kush by Cheese, you know, with the K-Town Kush by Cheese, one, Gazzers, it was not a good breeder in general. Like, I think Gazzers only got 200 or 300 beans from the whole run, which is strange. Normally, we're yielding anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 beans on a plant. So it wasn't great at producing seed. The seeds that came out were hard and mature in that regard, but the color never went dark. The K-Town Kush by Cheese, when I got it knocked up by the Alien Rift, got normal returns in terms of the beans. So we probably got at least 2,000 to 4,000 beans off of that one, and it was just a small little plant too. And they were big, they were hard, they were super mature, like super rock hard, which is great. But they just didn't quite have that same dark color. You know what I mean? Which, funnily enough, it's just the way that genetic seems to do. So that trait, at least currently in the F1, is carried forward in that regard. Does that necessarily mean they're immature beans? No, no. Every plant can be a little bit different. So the answer to that question, gosh, now your mama, is yes, but no, but yes, but no. So Tony Clifton, basically, you're just going to have to work harder to find males to stabilize it out to an F2. When you take a feminized genetic and then you cross it by a regular, you're just going to have a lower count of males. Through selective breeding and stabilization over time, you can bring that male number back. You just have to look out for certain things and hope for the best too at the same time. I prefer not to breed with feminized genetics if I can avoid it. Sometimes that is, in fact, the only option you have, and that's what you got to do. But is that pot magnifier? What? No, I was just holding the phone really close to my hand. That's all. Yeah, so Jansen Dennis, sort of my feel on autos is autos in general, they've come a long way. They can be pretty strong in general. They can these days yield fairly well from what I've noticed too. But they do lack at bare minimum, they'll always lack the potency of the original parent lineage. And that is basically my humble 2 cents. A big part has to do with the lack of dark period. In terms of how it's forming its cannabinoids and the way that they're going to chemically work on our cannabinoid endocrine system and hitting our brains and doing all that. So that's part of it, my humble 2 cents. But also too, yield has gotten a lot better. Like back in the day, you were lucky to get an ounce or two off an auto. So they've come a long way. They've definitely come a long way. I guess I should show you the Orange Warrior Widow beans. I didn't show you those. I mean, I showed some of them yesterday, but here. We'll show you some of those too. Why not? Then there's actually 2 other strains that'll be on the website. I just haven't harvested them yet. They're sitting in dried, desiccated plants at the moment. Einstein, the sexing of a seed via aesthetics is a complete wives' tale and is a load of crap. It only works half the time, which means bullshit. That is an old wives' tale, Einstein, that has existed for a very long time. There's a lot of people who say they can use a needle on the end of a string, kind of like using dowsing rods and stuff like that, in order to gender a seed, and that is just not true. It's just none of that's true. I don't believe in it. It's not scientific. It's pseudoscience, and it's a load of crap. These are the Orange Warrior Widow seeds. What is an Orange Warrior Widow? It is Orange Hindu Kush crossed by a Kaitungata Canadian White Russian male. Look at those. Oh yeah, look at the sexy color and speckling on those ones. Kind of makes you horny, don't it? Yeah. Right, Sir Sticky? Return of the Mac, it is definitely Einstein. This is exactly how Einstein talks. It's definitely Einstein. Stony, that's not true. You cannot aesthetically sex beans. That is the biggest load of crap ever. It's an old wives' tale. It's a misconception. That is literally not how it works. You cannot sex beans, everybody. It only works at best half the time. What does that mean? That means there actually is no basis to the methodology. It means 50-50, crapshoot, like pretty much anything else. There's no real basis to it. I've tested it 1,001 times from Sunday. It does not work, in my humble 2 cents. Okay, Stony, you were scaring me there for a second. I was like, Stony, no! But yeah. And Einstein, when you said what, Return of the Mac was like, I don't think this is the real Einstein. It doesn't seem like him. Well, it seems like him to me, to be honest, Mac. I believe it's Einstein. I heard if your bean has a penis, it's a male. I don't even know what to say to that. But it was funny. Oh, man. So Tony Clifton, 50-50. Yeah. So it's like you got one bean that, according to the aesthetic way of determining a bean's sex, right, is a male and it's a female. Okay. Doesn't always work. Maybe at best works half the time, which means there is no basis to it. Also, too, if you take a feminized genetic, you have both beans present, but it's a feminized genetic. So my point is the aesthetic, the physical structure of a seed, and being able to sex a seed by just looking at it is not right. It's just not. What's up, my swat? Oh, Stony. I find that quite amusing. Okay, so this is Eric Grant's Artistry. Eric Grant's question is Orange Warrior Widow indica or sat dominant? Well, it is an F1 currently, so I have not even grown it out. So I'm not sure what the phenos will provide, but genetically speaking, it is essentially slightly more indica than it would be sativa. The Kaitangata Canadian White Russian is Kaitangata, which is 100% sat. It's a sativa strain grown by the Maori people over in New Zealand. Have been growing for a very, very long time. Crossed by Canadian White Russian. What is Canadian White Russian? Well, Canadian White Russian is AK-47, which is a sat dom. Crossed by White Widow, which is a hybrid. I'd call it more of a sat dom hybrid, but there are indica nuances on both sides of that plant structure. So that one would be a sat dom with indica parts, and then the orange Hindu is an indica. So by basic calculation, if you were to think about it in terms of what's going in from either side, it would be slightly more indica than it would be. But I would say probably a better way to describe it would be a perfect marrying of both worlds. And depending on how it grows out, though, like you will have a very, very, very solid hybrid representing, especially with proper stabilization, representing both traits from both worlds with the right stabilization. What's up, Stone Gamer? Good to see you, buddy. Hell yeah, Tony Clifton. Do it. Blueberry's great. I love blueberry. Good to see you, Stone Gamer, by the way. White Russian was once the strongest. I don't know if it was. White Russian was the Canadian response to White Widow, White Rhino. It was developed here. I don't know if I would ever have said it was that. White Widow was arguably considered by many to be the strongest strain around, especially in Europe for a long time. I don't know if I would have ever, at least in terms of the circles that I ran in here in BC, I don't know if we would have ever considered it the strongest. We definitely considered it very strong. We considered it had great bag appeal. It was super frosty, great flavors, good smoke. And it was Canadian developed, so we really were into that too. It was the Canadian contribution to the quote unquote white family of genetics. And I don't know if I would have considered it ever the strongest at any point. But it was definitely one of the ringers for sure, and it was definitely something that was desirable. I would definitely say it was stronger than White Rhino. Canadian White Russian definitely would have beaten White Rhino in my humble 2 cents. But I won't lie to you, I actually quite liked White Rhino. It was a great daytime. It was a great daytime. Yeah, and Alien Rift, for example, Stony Baker MD, everything that I've seen from an alien rift on its own, or if I impregnate an alien rift female, it produces very tiny seeds. It's interesting. Oh, dude, White Rhino was huge when I was kind of like halfway through high school, right before the Super Kush takeover of things. It was a good time. No, I know, Stony. Do I do foliar feedings in veg typically sometimes? Jake's All-in-One not only kills PM and bugs, it's also a foliar feed and an immune system booster. We'll be having that available on our store very soon. So yes, I do occasionally. Do I do it every time? No. But I'll often use, especially in veg, as a preventative and just sort of basically help me up, shall we say, for my plants. Jake's All-in-One during the vegetation station, as it were. Oh, I agree, Stone Gamer. The original White Widow was dank. I also like Jack Herrera as well, Ganja. Now your mama. White Widow and Jack Herrera were both very, very, very tasty weed. Yeah, so Van Island Beauty, I'm going to tell you that that doesn't work either. All of the males that I use in the breeding project all had giant dark striations on them. Still went male. And I'm telling you, Van Island Beauty, there is no aesthetic that you can actually trust. That's just not scientific. Because at the end of the day, I've got crosses here that have different striations, different specklings, different this, different that. There's no way you can guarantee that. I'm sorry. It's just not true. I've been growing far too long and played with more genetics than most in terms of things from all over the world. I have a huge vault. And I'm sorry. I've never been sold on it. I gave it a chance. I tried for years to see if there was any actual truth to any of this, and it's just not true. And again, Van Island Beauty, thank you for sharing your experience, and I'm not trying to be contradictory or mean at all. I'm just speaking my truth in my humble 2 cents at the same time. Part of the hard thing is, Stoney, is it's very hard to find a true Jack Herrera in this day and age. It has been you have gotten very lucky on that Van Island Beauty, 100%, bro. And hey, that's not a bad thing either. You know what I'm saying? And also in response to Stoney, finding a Jack Herrera is very, very hard to do. That's a true Jack Herrera. Oh, and weird shit like coincidence and crap like that happens all the time. I actually think Jack Herrera, too. I think if I'm remembering correctly, Jack Herrera actually is the one, and I think it's called CBV. I could be remembering that incorrectly, but I think Jack Herrera was actually that strain back in the day that had this special cannabinoid that actually showed a lot of promise in terms of diabetes and helping people's systems actually in terms of how it regulated blood sugars and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. It's the only strain I nearly passed out of. Well, you must have had a good batch of that shit, girl. I did. Like, that sounds pretty crazy. Oh my. That sounds intense, girl. Oh no. So it was one of those where you thought you were like dying or something or greening out, etc. and stuff, Ganjanana? That sounds intense, girl. Einstein says, what strain gets you the most horny? Well, I am going to comment to this because, one, there are strains out there that, according to what I'm going to call the lore, okay, are aphrodisiacs. I have never met a strain that consistently had that effect on anyone. I will say that in my experience, every strain's a little different to every person. So what one strain might make one horny will not necessarily make another horny. But then another strain that doesn't make that person horny might make that person horny. I will say that one of the odd things, we talked about this in the show yesterday. Yeah, O'Shea gets it, where I'm going with this. A lot of the older males who have been using my CBD tinctures have been reporting back to me that their ED is gone, which is a little weird. I wasn't expecting to hear that from them. But they're like, yeah, no, straight up. Like, dude, I'm going to take your CBD in the morning and at night. My dick works. Like, I'll be at work. I'm a heavy machine operator. I'm like hard all day from the vibrations of the machine. Like, that never happens. Like, my dick has barely worked in 20 years. And I was like, oh, really? they're like, yeah, dude, your CBD seems to cure ED. And it's not just like one dude. Like I've got like 8 or 9 dudes right now who are telling me this. And it's just like, they're all kind of older dudes. But like they're very happy about it, which is, yeah, totally. I get that, right? It's nice to know, Johnson is able to Johnson, if you know what I'm saying. But, I don't know. But people have been purporting that the CBD seems to make, for males at least, I have not heard this from females, but again, less women have tried it than men. It could also help facilitate things in the lady department as well. But it's seemingly helping to facilitate the ability to stand at attention of the male genitalia. The first guy who told me about this was quite funny. I popped into the pub the other night, and he's a big redneck guy, big heavy machine operator, and he's just going off so loud in this bar about how my CBD makes his dick hard. And I'm just like, a little awkward. I mean, he was very happy about it, so I was like, hey man, that's awesome. And then it started happening again. Like all these other dudes are reporting this too. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I did not develop the product to have this effect, but there we go. As I've said, every strain, every set of cannabinoids has a slightly different function in the body. Our CBD products are broad spectrum. There's CBD, CBG, CBV, CBC, CBN, CBDA. There's a lot of different cannabinoids in there. Which one is doing it? I don't know. Maybe it's the whole broad spectrum of it overall. I don't know. But I'm having a consistent thing from many different people saying it is directly interacting with the functionality of their male genitalia. Now, to speak from a lady's standpoint, clitoral erections are a real thing too. It's structurally identical to a penis. So, I guess at the end of the day, I don't know, that will help ladies as well. I don't know. It's one of those things, though, right? Like I was not expecting to hear that coming back from people, but it's been consistent now. Like it's not just like one dude had this one weird experience. It's like a bunch of people are having this experience, and I'm like, there we go. We'll add that to the list of things it might help with. Oh, fuck. But hey, I mean, rock and roll. Oh, yeah. Hey, Ganjanana, your mama, when you get some, give me a report and tell me your experience, girl, okay? I don't know. But what's happening, Random Letters? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. Oh, Return of the Mac. Don't be shy. It's completely okay. Return of the Mac, human sexuality in our bodies is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Don't be ashamed of your sexuality. Don't be ashamed of your body. Love and respect it like you do your plants. I'm sorry. That was just really funny. I felt that quite amusing. For those of you just joining the show, if you're having fun, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Never a dull moment here at Potsquatch Growers, but oh, right? Oh, God. Give me a second, everybody. I just need a minute. Okay. Don't worry, Return to the Mac. I'm pretty sure your mom knows you got a pee-pee. Okay? Okay, I'm done. Okay, we can move on. That was my last one on that one. Oh, fuck. I mean, we could Van Island Beauty, but I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to false advertise, right? If you only got an inch, man, it'll be a real hard inch, but it's not. I don't think it's helping the dick grow bigger. I just think it's making it work, potentially, for some. But, hey, there we go. Oh, fuck. That was funny. Yeah, okay. So anyway, let's move on. I think we've talked about enough about PPs and vajayjays. So, stores open, everybody. Buy your CBD tincture now. It comes in 2 wonderful flavors, all natural or lemon. If you have animals, like a dog that's old with arthritis, and you want to help it, don't buy the lemon. Lemon essential oil is toxic to dogs, but the all-natural version is safe for your pets too. Good for you, good for them. If your male dog is not fixed, I take no responsibility on what might happen. Maybe don't give it to your Great Dane. No, just all natural and lemon, Einstein. Maybe one day we'll expand the flavors there, but yeah, that's right. Get your lights now and Potsquatch Growers swag and your CBD too at potsquatchsales.com. Actually, well, the lights, we do have a lights link. It's actually the old lights link that I've programmed into this, so it will actually, so it'll take and it'll take you to the lights website. It'll go, this page doesn't exist, but if you actually scroll to the bottom, you'll start seeing our lights there. So you're in the right place. Just look up Squatch Lights and you'll be okay. Aaron, perfect. We got something about plants. So here we go. We're getting ourselves back on track. I had 2 plants outdoors in pots, and the squirrels had been digging the dirt out and killing my plants. Aha! I've got a trick for that. Okay, so Aaron, you're gonna take it could be like a 4-liter water, like plastic jug. That's what it comes in BC as. Pop bottle, anything like that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pop bottle and you're gonna kind of cut little windows into it, little flaps up. You're gonna fill it with water and mothballs. Okay, mothballs aren't really water soluble much, so they kind of are very slowly over time. So you dump a bunch of mothballs in there. And then you basically cap it off and put that around your outdoor grow. It'll deter rats, it'll deter squirrels, it'll deter rodents in general, and a number of other animals to stay away as well. They do not like the scent, and it will protect your grow. If you're having problems with things like deer or other things, if you're a meat eater and eat a lot of meat, start pissing around your plants. Not on your plants, that's a different thing, and probably don't do that. But you can piss around your plants. And the fact is the herbivores, like deer, will smell that you eat meat, and they will avoid your crops as well. Deer will also hate mothballs. Yes, true, random letters. But the pea trick works great for deer as well. A lot of my old hippie buddies who were outdoor growers for years, and they ate a lot of meat, right? If you're a vegetarian, you got to get one of your meat eating friends to come pee around your plants. Your pee will not do anything. They'll be like, oh, another deer was here. Right? But if you got a meat eater in your life, be like, oh man, can you come over? I know I'm vegetarian, but I'll make you a giant steak or 2, have some beers, and then just start peeing around my garden. Does it eliminate nosy neighbors? No, typically when you whip your penis out in your backyard, your neighbors usually look a little bit harder, actually. So good for animals. Maybe not to deter your neighbors. They might get a little weird when you start whipping your dick out. Wow. Well, Stoney, the speed and control you would require to do that, I'm impressed, my friend. I'm impressed. That takes some skill. PotsquatchSales.com. Buy your CBD and swag now. I don't know, man. Have you seen Total Recall, Stone Gamer? Just think. I'm just joking. And typically, the nipples or breastises associated with female mammals typically is more in greater association with the classical maximum size of litter. Not us playing. It'd be nice if it was.
But Mother Nature doesn't care about us that much. I mean, that's true too, random letters, and legally speaking, depending on your municipality, legislatures can change, but I mean, technically your backyard's your backyard, but if you don't have privacy fences, you may be done for public indecency, given that you're doing it in plain sight of public territory. I'd just be careful. Maybe do it at night or early in the morning. Bring a flashlight. Well, and Aaron, and that one's sad, and I hope your neighbor was okay. Sometimes the human mind, it begins to go and weird things happen, and that's just sad. I can't laugh at that one or make a joke on that one. That just makes me sad. So, what's up, Jeremiah Sanchez? Good to see you, buddy. Don't worry, Ganjanana. There's enough CBD for you and everyone. Actually, we literally have the capacity that we could meet orders of millions. If you wanted to order millions of tinctures and buy it wholesale, we literally could do that. Might take us a couple of months to get it all produced, but we could actually do it. We have the ability, we've set everything up that we can fulfill any requirement, any supply requirement of our CBD wholesale for any retailer or distributor. Give us a call. You got milk? Yeah, my fridge upstairs. How you doing, Jeremiah? How's the world treating you? Only if you took off his glasses and then it got all blurry. But then sometimes it was 3, sometimes it was 4. Yeah, no, Jan's Dennis. I mean, I typically don't sleepwalk much. I did a lot as a kid, kind of grew out of it, right? But yeah, I was known to do like full Elvis concerts in my sleep and do weird shit. Normally I pass out pretty good, but weird shit happens. What's up, Roman? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, no worries, Roman. Check out the store. Store's working. Store's open. Store's ready to rock, buddy. We did it. It's open. Check it out, Roman. Rock and roll, buddy. We finally did it. Was good, but today was better. What, the shows? Or what? Oh, shit. Well, shit, Roman. There we go. Actually, in that one, Roman, I might be able to do in such a way that, because technically the beard oil ships out of the States, but I have a lot of, the beard oil on hand right now. I might be able to doctor it on my end on that and just do it all in one package for me to you. We'll see. Stony Baker MD, do I have dreams? I do have a dream. I have a dream that one day, all the weed titty, no, I'm just joking. Yes, I dream. I do dream, Stony. I have very vivid dreams. I even have prophetic dreams where I dream the future, and it oddly is eerily on point sometimes. It's kind of weird. But yes, I do have dreams, everyone, as I'm sure you all do too. They actually say that if you don't remember your dreams, doesn't mean you didn't have them. Some people do struggle to get to the REM level of sleep to where we actually dream properly. But, it is what it is. Roman Reckless. Well, okay, so Roman, if you wait until later this evening and do it over Facebook, if you don't care about the fancy labels, I've said that to a few of you, I don't have the fancy labels yet. If we're talking, I could put a new product up on the store, just make one available, and you can add it to your cart and buy it that way. So, Roman, maybe don't order it this second. Wait till this evening, and you and I can do it over a Facebook chat, and then I'm actually in the admin back end of my store, and we can make that work.
Well, Einstein, where there is a will, there is a way, and I believe in one day your ability to maybe successfully achieve your dream of a menage a trois. Do I fly my dreams? Sometimes. Sometimes I fly. Often too, I have basically, I guess, telekinesis in my dreams, so I can like move things. Kind of like in my dreams, it kind of like it reminds me of like Yoda the few times he tried to do something like that. But yeah, no, I got a lot of weird shit in my dreams. Well, Stone Gamer, if marijuana represses dreams, dear God, I'd hate to see what they would be like without it. I dream with marijuana. I'm scared to think of what it would be like. No, but see, like Return to the Mac, though they do say though that like unless you're someone who can't actually achieve REM, which it sounds like if you're getting nightmares, you actually are having a dream. A nightmare is just a different name for something we find traumatic or dealing with sort of these repressed parts of our psyche. But anyway, I believe we all dream. Whether we remember them or not, totally different story. But yes. I agree. Random letters. Lucid dreaming is pretty rad. I don't openly practice it usually as much, but there are dreams where all of a sudden I realize I'm like, oh, I'm in my dream. Fun. Let's just go fuck something up or something. Trippy Stony Baker MD. That sounds intense. It's fun. I can just hear the dogs ripping back and forth upstairs, everybody. It's just like they're going to town on each other. We've got a third dog here right now. We're watching our friend's puppy, and they are going to town. So, but yeah, no. Also, too, by the way, everybody, we've got full boxes of papers available in the store. We've got the stickers, we've got CBD, the hats, the shirts, the grinders. Let's talk about some of the fun things that'll be coming to the store. Jake's All-in-One's going to be back on the store very soon, so Jake's All-in-One's going to be available. We're going to only bring it in the smaller sizes this time. We didn't really sell a lot of the big 4 liters, so we're going to make the larger bottles of Jake's All-in-One available via special order. Okay, but so we'll have the 1 liter and the half-liter size bottles available in the store fairly soon, and so that'll be on the store. We're going to be hopefully launching in a month or so, maybe 2, our first smokable hemp CBD. Okay, so that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to also be bringing in eventually. I mean, I got to talk to the artist who's going to be doing this with me, but he's basically going to be developing. He's a special effects makeup artist. He does a lot of sculpting, and he makes all the prosthetics for film, and he does all this kind of stuff, and he does a lot of cool stuff. And so he approached me of like, dude, like we could totally make like a high temperature resistant silicon bong, kind of like that's in now, right? And so we're going to be releasing our own line of basically silicon bongs. Comes with a Pyrex bowl and all that jazz, right? But they're going to be art pieces. They're going to be numbered. So we'll probably do an initial run of 10 of each. And so one of the first 10, and then it'll be, then it'll so, over time, when you buy one, it'll just be further and further down the line of it. Get the first one. Who knows? Could be worth something one day. His name's Gideon Hayes, a brilliant artist. So we've got kind of 4 initial premise of bongs. One is an homage to me, which is basically me sitting in a giant lazy boy chair, and then you smoke me. But those are some fun things that will be happening on the channel. In terms of once we start getting some sales and some actual capital being, hey, no worries, Patrick, at all. No worries at all, Patrick. Once we get some actual revenue happening and operating capital, we're going to be expanding the swag line. So we're going to be launching. Hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping that maybe by midsummer I can afford to bring out some tank tops. A lot of the female Potsquatches at home were wanting the tank tops, and so we're going to try to do that. Coming up for the winter, we're going to be having what Americans call a beanie, which is actually called a toque, by the way, America. Just teasing. We'll be having toques and hoodies and lots of fun like that. A lot of people have been asked, like, well, could we get a patch, like kind of like what's on the hat? Obviously, the hat is like this. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be getting some patches for people. You know, rolling paper wise, we're going to be expanding. We're going to have king size papers. We're also going to be bringing out rips. We're going to be bringing out our own filter tips. So expanding that one a little bit there too. Lots of fun stuff though is coming. In terms of the CBD line for beard stuff, I really want to release a beard wash, like a beard shampoo. That's kind of one of the things I've got in the works right now too. Is I would like to release a CBD beard wash for our faces, and we will see when that comes about. But I mean, the smokable hemp line is kind of what I want to launch first. We got to kind of make some money off the CBD line before I can kind of keep releasing things. Eventually, we'll probably have our own isolates and distillates, and hemp cigars is another thing I want to bring out too, because I've had a couple of them from a few suppliers that I've been talking to, and I quite like them actually. Quite nice actually. Mac, if you were wondering if this is the real Einstein, it most certainly is. Einstein, you're reminding me of like that chick on OnlyFans who's selling her bath water, and the other chick who's like selling her farts in a can. That's a thing, by the way. If you haven't heard about that, any of you at home, look it up. It's probably one of the weirder things that the internet has brought about in the last number of years. I guess people got desperate over the pandemic and they started making money in all fun, new, strange ways. And a lot of us at home are a little weird, I guess. But yeah. Yeah. I think that was her name for the one thing. Yeah, Stone Gamer. I remember when I first read it, I was just like, oh my God. Oh, 100% Shawner Pops. 100%. Yeah, no, Stone Gamer. The scary thing is her bathwater comes with warning of may contain herpes. So, it's a market I don't know a whole lot about, this old stoner, but it is a market that exists. Fuck. Me too, Shawner Pops. Me too. I agree with you. But so let's do a recap here. That's disgusting. You have a link? Oh, of course, Stoney. No, I don't have the link. You're gonna have to Google that one for yourself. But I don't think it'll be that hard for you to find it. It's been a great show today, everybody. Let's recap. We're gonna be popping beans soon, and everything's gonna be going live. The store's live now. Order away. Hit us up. We got your back. We're going to take care of you. Our CBD line has been getting nothing but beyond above positive reviews from people. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very excited to share it with all of you around the world. Seeds will be available very soon. For those of you who don't care about a label, we can probably do something, without the label, and we can figure that one out. At the end of the day, we're on the verge of some very exciting times, everybody. If you want to grow like Uncle Potsquatch, check out Squatch Lighting Systems, brought to you by Soulstrip. You can find your way to there through our website. There is also a link for that. I don't know if any of the moderators have that handy, but if they do, they can share that now for people to see. And we'll have plants going again soon. Beans are going to be available soon. A lot of fun, wonderful, sexy things that's coming for all of you. Thank you for your patience with us here. I'm sorry that the live streams didn't happen for a little bit, but we're back. Everything's back and going, and we're finally. Thank you, Not Luna. I appreciate it. We are back. The store's open for business. Things are sexy. Everybody is about to have a great time. We're launching more products. We're going to be having so many things. I've got a meeting right now with Jake from Jake's All-in-One. We're going to be bringing that back on the website. Basically, once it shows up, we'll have that on the website probably maybe a week and a half. Depends on how long it takes them to pack and ship it out to us. But it's not like it's coming from very far. So it's a local Canadian product here in BC. So that's all going to be available for everybody too. So long story short, my friends, my family, all right, it's going to be a good time. And we're on the verge of the next true great level of Potsquatchness and things that are coming. We've also got the television show still in development. We've got a lot of in development. Page not found. So this old stoner, it's because it's the old link. Page is really there. If you scroll down to the bottom of that page where it says page not found, they've changed their website and a lighting website to where now we're not a landing page on their website. Now we are a product category, which is Squatch lights. So if you scroll down to that page, though, this old stoner, you'll see some of our lights there. Or if you go on the Soul Strip website to products, go under Squatch. It's under a product category now, Squatch lights. It is all still there, I promise. But anyway, actually, the link that we have integrated into our website right now takes you to that page too. We'll change that. Luna, I will not Luna. I'll send you the new link to go to it because we're now, I think, the way they've changed the website, and they never even told us either, which is kind of shady. But we're now a product category rather than our own specific dedicated landing page, which is not a big deal. It just is what it is. Boom, there we go. See, look at how fast Not Luna is. Boom, here's the product category. Boom, link. There we go, everybody. So anyway, everybody, much love. Keep it sexy. Keep it real. We'll see you next time. I'm going to go call Jake, and then I got a meeting with our partners in the CBD-ness, and then I got to go back to the brewery and do some prep cooking. That's right. YMCS, whatever that is. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Not Luna. So now, boom, see the light link? Already updated. That's how quick my computer person is. My computer person is a gangster of computers. Faster than shit. Dangerous. Try to hack us. Bring it the fuck on. We got it. We're here to not only empower you, but keep your transactions safe. All right. Remember, the true grower is the forever student. The true grower is not afraid to take risks. The true grower makes educated, stupid decisions. Love yourselves. Love your plants. Love each other. And remember, we learn more from our mistakes than we do our successes. Don't beat yourself up too much. Maybe a little bit. It'll help the lesson set in. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you soon. Maybe I'll release a video tonight or tomorrow about the popping of beans. Bye, everybody.